Hey everyone, and welcome. So, what's it going to take to really succeed in your career come 2026? Things are changing so fast, right? The ground is literally shifting under our feet thanks to AI and all these new ways of working. So, let's map out the skills you're going to need to not just get by, but to actually thrive. And look, this isn't just some abstract idea. The urgency is very real. Just look at this number from the World Economic Forum. Half, that's 1 out of every 2 workers, will need to be reskilled by 2030. This isn't some far-off future we're talking about. It's happening as we speak. That old playbook of just relying on your degree and your years of experience, yeah, it's pretty much out the window. The new game is all about adaptable, provable skills. And this quote from workplace strategist Penny Zenker, it just nails it. The future isn't about us versus the machines, not at all. It's about a partnership. The real value, and yeah, the biggest paychecks, are going to go to the people who can use technology to make their uniquely human abilities shine even brighter. So that leads us right into our first major idea, the skills revolution. We are in the middle of a massive change in how companies hire, promote, and think about talent. They're moving away from that old model based on pedigree to one that values what you can actually do. And you can see this trend so clearly in the data. A full 65% of organizations are now evaluating people based on specific, concrete skills. What does that mean for you? It means your portfolio, your projects, your ability to solve a real problem right there in an interview. Those things are becoming way more powerful than just the name of your university on a resume. And when you ask employers, okay, what's the #1 skill you're looking for? The answer is overwhelming. 70% point to analytical thinking. Now, this isn't just about being a data wizard. It's about being able to look at a mess of information, spot the patterns that matter, and make smart decisions, especially when things are confusing. Your ability to think critically is your absolute greatest asset. Okay, so let's build on that and talk about the tech side of things with the 2026 Tech Toolkit. Because here's the deal. Even if you're not in a tech role, having a solid baseline of technical fluency is pretty much becoming non-negotiable. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. Just take a look at this table. This is where the action is. Fields like AI, data analysis, cybersecurity, and cloud development, they're not just booming, they're also getting easier to break into. And I mean, look at those salary ranges. The really key thing here is that you can land a lot of these high-paying jobs with certifications, boot camps, and a great portfolio. A 4-year degree isn't always the only ticket in. But for most of us, the crucial tech skill isn't going to be building AI from the ground up. It's what we call AI literacy. And as you can see here, it's all about knowing how to use these tools effectively, how to understand what they're telling you, and this is so important, how to question their output. It's about being the smart person in the room who uses AI to do their job better, not necessarily becoming a programmer yourself. So all of this, it brings up a really interesting question, doesn't it? As technology gets smarter and more powerful, does that mean our future is all about code and data? Or, and this is the fascinating part, is our humanity, our ability to connect and empathize and lead, actually becoming our most valuable, irreplaceable asset? And that's where we get to what I think is the most exciting part, the human advantage. In a world that's getting saturated with technology, it's the skills that can't be automated that are going to make you stand out. These are your greatest differentiators, hands down. Let's start with a big number. Get this. A whopping 80% of employers are specifically looking for people with strong teamwork skills. And it makes total sense, right? In today's world of hybrid and remote work, being able to collaborate effectively online, communicate clearly, and build trust when you're not even in the same room, well, that's absolutely essential. Harvard's Ron Seal points out this interesting paradox. As we spend more and more time interacting with things like chatbots and AI, our need for real, authentic human connection doesn't just go away. It actually becomes a premium. Genuine interaction is becoming a more valuable commodity in the workplace, not less. Now, at the very heart of this human advantage is something called emotional intelligence, or EQ. And it sounds complex, but you can really break it down into these 4 key parts. It all starts with self-awareness, just noticing what you're feeling. Then comes self-regulation, being able to manage those feelings. Next, you turn your focus outward with empathy, noticing what other people are feeling. And finally, you put it all together with social skills, which is all about collaborating and working well with others. Okay, so how do we pull all of this together? That's what this next section is about, leadership and the growth mindset. You see, modern success isn't about choosing tech skills or human skills. It's about blending them. The absolute best leaders in 2026 will be the ones who can master the tech and then use it to build better human connections and help their teams perform at their best. And leadership itself is going through a massive evolution. That old command and control, top-down model, the one built on rigid goals and grind culture, it just breaks in a world that changes this fast. It's being replaced by a modern approach where leaders create a space that feels safe for people to take risks. They provide a clear sense of purpose when everything feels uncertain, and they make everyone feel like a true owner. It's a huge shift from being an authority to being an influence. And you know the secret sauce that makes all of this possible? It's having a growth mindset. It's the simple, powerful belief that your talents aren't set in stone. This is basically the operating system you need to learn new tech and develop deeper emotional intelligence. It's what lets you see a challenge and think opportunity, to actually learn from feedback and to just keep going. In an age of constant change, this is the real engine for your career growth. Okay, so we've covered the what and the why. Let's bring this all home and finish up with the how. Here is your development roadmap, some really practical steps you can take right now to future-proof your career. Here's your checklist for this new skills-based world. First, go look at your resume. Is it just a list of job titles? Or does it scream, here are the valuable things I can do? Next, when you interview, use the STAR method, situation, task, action, result, to tell stories that prove your skills. Third, go get those micro-credentials and online certifications for high-demand skills. Then, build a digital portfolio that shows people what you're capable of. And finally, curate your online presence, because that's often the very first impression a company has of you. I really want to leave you with this one last thought. As we look towards 2026 and beyond, the most important question you can ask yourself isn't just about the technology. The real question is, how will you use these incredible new tools to become even better at the things that make you uniquely human? Your creativity, your empathy, your ability to connect with people and lead them. That is the real path to success.